Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, every single enemy, every single everything in the Binding of Isaac. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined as always by a guy who's whoops for Krusties, Gary Butterfield.
I am for Krusty in the upcoming election.
Oh, really? He'd be a bad president, Gary. He's one of the worst people in Springfield.
I just like that he's a Washington outsider.
Oh,
you know?
That's true. He's not inside the Beltway.
Yeah, he's not a Beltway clown, unlike those clowns in Washington.
Are you technically in the Beltway if you do autoerotic asphyxiation with a belt?
I think that in heaven you join the Beltway.
Okay.
And if but in Earth you stay attached to whatever door you were sitting next to.
Yeah.
To
doors, the silent killers.
The my main hanging yourself with a belt with a door thing is from The Wire. I don't know if that's actually how people autoerotic asphyxiate.
Gary, I'm sure. Sure, because doors is everywhere. Oh yeah. It's not like I've ever thought about what I'd hang myself from in my home, but I don't think I have a lot of things that can.
You are
support
too
my
tall
weight.
to hang from a door.
No, I'd have to slouch.
I think that your body would stop slouching. I thought you kind of. That's why you do the chair thing. You got to take it out of your own control.
But I don't have anything that I trust.
I know you're in a rough situation, man.
Yeah.
I'm not. You had to buy a disused Grimace cage from a old McDonald's or something. You got to find an industrial piece of playground equipment.
Okay.
I
mean, there's lots of playgrounds out there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You don't actually have to.
You don't need the disc.
Bring one home.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was just thinking you could just do it at the playground and save yourself a step.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, here's the thing that they don't tell you about trauma. Everybody gets some, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets a formative trauma. That's why it's formative.
Well, here's the thing, too. It should be like chicken pox parties.
Right.
You get one, and once you get one, they stop.
Yeah.
So the hits stop coming and the hits stop coming. You get one hit, and then you can start running. So just exposing an entire neighborhood to, your grimace-addled corpse would get it out of the way. They'd be inoculated.
Also be scared because they don't know what Grimace is.
I know, and they could be like, that guy's what's inside Grimace.
From the Grimace shit out that man.
Yeah, this was Grimace just lost his skin, and it was Will.
or Grimace gave birth, but the umbilical cord got wrapped around the baby's the big baby's neck.
Big baby neck go bad from Grimace.
Yeah. I understood that sentence, and that means I'm sick.
Yeah, the Grimace's baby would slide down on a big sluice of strawberry shake.
Okay.
When Grimace gets aroused, I imagine Grimace's pussy gets shake. It's very cold, but shake comes out of it.
Gary, I know you have no contact with young people, but you do know there's a Grimace shake you could have referenced.
Yeah, I tried the Grimace shake. There.
What? Gary?
Yeah.
You're diabetic.
I know, but I just had to try it. It was Grimace's birthday.
Okay,
it only comes around once a year.
Hold on. It's time for Gary's Grimace shake review.
It was not bad, but it was the sweetest thing I'd ever drank. It is way too fucking sweet.
Okay.
So
why is McDonald's ice cream department working more in umami?
Yeah, it's sweeter than their chocolate or vanilla shakes.
That's
you know what I mean.
Bitterness that makes Grimace's birthday worth celebrating.
I sprinkled some scallions into the Grimace shake to try to balance it out a little bit. I was going for a Thai flavored Grimace shake.
No, I'm excited. Salt and Straw has been announced to partner with McDonald's on the Grimace shake,
and it's just It's here's a Grimace with vegetable scraps. Here's a Grimace with
I still
pile
think
of vinegar.
Sometimes about that time we went to Salt and Straw, and neither the people we were with were ooh, a mushroom one, we'll try that, and you and I were no.
They've had a couple of the slightly weird ones,
yeah.
but the weird ones. So for people who don't know, Salt and Straw is an ice cream place in Portland, Oregon. That
among other places, it's a Disney.
Oh yeah. It's expanded. Good on them. Because it's good ice cream, but their kind of gimmick is they do gimmick ice creams. So they have seasons, once every 2 months, they change. They have 6 unique flavors in addition to their standby ones, and they try to go real wacky with it.
They get a little silly. And in fact, Gary, let me you keep explaining, and I'm going to look at what the current seasonal
let's see what
are.
And the point I was going to make is that when they have these themes, they're half like fine and then half gross bets. So they'll do Halloween, and one of them is pumpkin pie, and you're like, oh, that's cool. You know, it's got pie chunks stuff. Pumpkin pie ice cream sounds great. One of them's like, you know, apple hayride or something, and it's like pretty okay.
And then right now, for instance, they have one that is a cinnamon and honey fried chicken.
Yes. So, but on this one, there's also probably like, well, I don't know what the theme is this month, but there's probably one that just sounds like there's probably one that just sounds like a good ice cream you'd never thought of.
Sour
like
cherry pie. There's chocolate
sour
potato
cherry
salad.
pie.
Chocolate potato salad, I bet, is actually pretty good.
It might be good. Chocolate is a very powerful flavor, you know, but cherry pie is sour cherries is a good, interesting ice cream flavor. That just seems like an ice cream flavor you hadn't tried. During Halloween, they had like one that had a bunch of Halloween candies in it, and then one that had a bunch of bugs in it.
Yeah.
And then one that was flavored with actually blood. You know, so
clear,
shit like that.
And also not gummy bugs.
Yes, real bugs and not gummy blood. I actually don't know where they sourced the blood, but there was blood inside. I think it was cow blood. But there was blood inside the ice cream. Blood. Yeah, I don't care for it.
Oh, I like it, but I've
you
had
like that?
it.
You like the blood thing? No.
I like a nice medium rare steak.
I like a nice medium rare steak, I guess. That's true. There's a little bit of blood in that.
Buddy. You're getting the blood flavor.
Well, but then people also just like eat blood.
You know what the juices are blood, right?
Some of it is, not all of it.
Some of it's cow piss.
Yeah, some of it's cow squirt. Did you know that that squirting is actually just cow blood?
I did know that, and every time I bring it up every day at the start of our we have a work meeting at the start of the day, and I bring this meeting to order. When someone squirts, it's cow blood.
Yeah. Now
I'm on a performance improvement plan.
When you say squirt, what do you mean by that?
Oh, I
Mr.
mean,
Hughes.
Who are you? Why are you in
I'm
meeting?
the boss of the AV Club.
Okay. This is verging on uncomfortable territory.
It's a fine geo media product.
Okay, phew. All right. Every now and then, I wonder what happens if someone plays the audio from this show for my actual employers.
You get promoted to a different job.
Yes, people always get promoted at Geo Media.
Yeah, the classic for promote. I was saying you get promoted to.
Promoted to infinity, as it were.
Yes, and beyond. We should talk about this challenge. I have a little bit of a time crunch today, and I'm really enjoying this energy. But if we can possibly save a little bit of it, say the challenge.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say we need to talk about Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, we gotta talk about Buzz Lightyear.
Talk about Buzz.
What's he up to? What's his squirt like?
What's he based on? What's the real life movie? God. The only joyful thing about Lightyear was the director, the poor director who is one of the only people who have been fired from Pixar in several years, having to try to explain over and over again. No, so the toy is based on a movie that Andy from Toy Story went and saw, and this is that.
It's very funny. It's a very like pre-taped college show kind of thing.
This is Seeing Double. This one's fun. It's hard, but it's fun.
Yes, fun but hard. With the caveat that you are playing as Jacob and Esau, so you gotta get into that. But the idea here is that Jacob and Esau both are wearing glasses. They both have 20/20, very powerful item, and already a character that's a little bit more powerful than usual if you can use them right. Because you're getting
high DPS.
Yes, high DPS,
just
and
survivability issues.
Doubles your already high DPS and gives you X-ray vision, so you get every secret room. You get treasure rooms, you get shops, and you only have to make it to Mom's Heart. But every enemy that can be doubled is
including bosses.
Including bosses. So if it spawns from like a challenge room or something, it's not. But if it spawns when you enter the room, without you triggering it, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, this is crazy chaos. I have not beaten this one. I poked at this one last week and had a real fun time with it. But like, Jacob and Esau is already the hardest character to play in the game.
Yeah, I need to go back to Esau's school before I beat this. I haven't also not beat it. Yeah. I played like a decent amount of Jacob and Esau, but like I had to be in a real right mood for it because the amount of overhead it requires is not usually what I go to Isaac for.
You need to be like right on the verge of schizophrenia.
You need verge, though.
Right on the verge. Gary, yes. You're going to be so tempted to go over because it's everything you hear about being schizophrenic sounds just like a joy.
It's only from the worst movies. IRL.
Yeah, Gary. I was actually speaking facetiously.
Yeah, no, I know. I was also just trying to back us out of that.
Okay, sure.
I also wanted to try to, I don't know. I want to acknowledge that movies are shitty about it at the same time. Yeah. I got worried about being yelled at because, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
It seems reasonable.
Gary, I don't agree with that premise that you just
I know. Yeah. I hate doing it, but I
think mental illness is actually a serious problem.
I do, unlike yourself.
Alderman Gary Butterfield.
Yeah, now, Mr. Hughes, do you think me you
are kind of the alderman of Duckfeed.
Alderman?
Yeah.
I don't know what an alderman does.
They take care of like local like city issues. Like your neighborhood has an alderman.
Okay.
But it's sort of the point, like it's a job that has like the maximum amount of people can yell at you.
I do have the maximum amount of people who can yell at me. That's true.
Like, if there's a pothole, you go yell at the alderman.
Okay. Yeah, very similar. I guess I'm kind of... I'm more alderman than Cole. I think I'm alderman in targetability. I don't know if I'm necessarily alderman in duty. I'm looking through to see what I would compare it to.
It's mostly just that I love you like a brother, but the effect of being yelled at by the internet for the last decade has done things to you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like there's no joke. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged, friend. I know.
Yeah.
I don't like it either, but it's 100% true. Yeah, I don't, I was not made to be yelled at this much, by people who aren't my parents.
Yeah.
Anywho, if you like,
yeah, I will shut up. We're trying to go on a crunch.
No, it's okay. It's a mild crunch. I got Cole, the comptroller of Duckfeed, waiting.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the show, go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and give us $. And then also go to ratings or reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and give us ego dollars in the form of poetry.
Sure.
Do you want to do that this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got to get out of the way.
Yeah. Like this one left by DNL7, the BPE. I don't think okay. But always, always has an end. All things shall be released. And sometimes we must break our hearts so our companions leave in peace. Sammy, if you're out there, somehow hearing me hear this, know you're still beloved. Know you're always missed. March 13th, 2023, and I never was the same. I'm crying while writing Guppy reviews, and Gary's who to blame. Did they lose a pet? Or
I hope not.
Wife?
I hope not. I mean, that's what that sounds like, and I'm sad that happened. I feel deeply put into an unfair position by this entire scenario.
Gary, well, let's be very clear. I did not read the poem beforehand because there's no world in which I would read the fucking poem beforehand.
When you were asking if you had already read this section, I was about to threaten you for reading any part of this twice.
Yeah.
To me. I don't, I feel deeply on the back foot.
Is it sadder if it's a cat or a wife?
Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get that widower pussy. Good night.
You don't.
It's almost imperceptible. Guppy listeners, if you want to go back and listen to that a little bit louder, you might edit it yourself. Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the Binding of Isaac podcast that talks about all the challenges in the Binding of Isaac series of video games. My name is Gary Butterfield, and with me as always is a defective Pokemon, Will Hughes.
Pica.
Oh, hey, little mutant.
So, Gary, confession time.
Yep.
I have not done this challenge, and then upon reading about it, I started like clapping my hands like a joyful simple child because this is a great idea for a challenge.
It's a great idea. It's very similar. I feel like we pitched like a long time ago. I think I pitched one where you start with every trinket.
Yeah.
and just nothing else. You don't get anything else. This is the closest the game comes to that, and a better idea than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, this is Pica Run.
Yes.
Pica, of course, is the condition where you eat things that aren't food compulsively.
Yeah, it happens to pregnant ladies sometimes. My mom apparently sucked on muddy rocks.
Sure.
That was her thing. Pocket the cat will lick walls. You know. So,
Kermie loves straw. He loves. We can't leave brooms out, or else he'll just eat them.
Yeah, Pica.
I have like mild pica. I have like a deep need to be chewing things all the time. So,
have you tried gum?
Here's the thing, Gary. I'm actually looking at a big wad of gum I got sitting on my desk right now for later. Pre-chewed. I chewed it last night, and I was like, "There's still a lot of chew in this, so this goes on a cup."
Goes in my safety deposit box. Goes in my mutual fund for gum.
Yeah, so just so I can pick up lint and smells. But like gum, after a while it hurts my jaw.
Yeah.
It makes my jaw all tired.
Will.
Yeah.
What about rechargeable gum, like gum that is made to be chewed until it loses its flavor, and then it picks up flavors based on scent. So if you like put it in a fruit bowl with a bunch of berries, it then picks up that charge.
Gary, I don't know that magic has been used to less effect ever. We've invented magic. So I think
science could do it.
Rechargeable gum.
We can put a man on the moon, and you think we can't make rechargeable gum?
Hello, I'm Count Bubble.
I think you could make Count Bubble, and that's a great name for it. We'll get you in marketing.
Place my chewed up gum on your steak. It will absorb all the cow blood.
The flavors. And then you have steak gum. It eats like a whole meal, like in Willy Wonka.
See, steak gum is a great idea, and Willy Wonka was a goddamn genius.
Well, they make that beef jerky that's positioned as chaw. That's pretty close to steak gum.
I guess so. Kind of like Big League Chew, but it's beef.
Yes, beef league chew. There's like you can get shredded pork that is like that. They straight up sell it in just like the Asian market, and you just eat it like chaw.
I gotta go to the fucking Asian market, man.
You absolutely do.
I have now officially I don't eat carb snacks anymore.
Okay.
If it has carbs in it, I don't snack on it, which means I've eaten a lot of pork rinds and a lot of jerky. So
nuts.
Nuts are good. God,
yeah, they have good
good
nuts.
Expensive.
Jerky's very expensive. They have good nuts products there. Little word to the wise. There are a bunch of Asian markets. Fubon is the best one that we have been to.
Sure.
There's one of them that I did not like as much. It is the one that just had open durian, like in the entryway, just for free sniffing. And I'm like, that's a weird choice.
That's an aggressive. You don't need to come in here, folks.
I don't know why they did it. I'd never smelled it before, but yeah, it's a really fucking weird.
Maybe that seems like a good strategy for a mafia front.
It does seem like a mafia front. Like, don't go back in there. We also got really bad food poisoning, either from something we ate, but I don't know if it was from that or something that we had at home.
Well, luckily you didn't name this second place, so we can't get sued for you slandering them like this.
Yeah. It's whatever. It's all of them that aren't Fubon. Just go to Fubon.
Fubon's great. It's huge.
It's huge, and the restaurants by it are great.
Yeah.
There's a really fun sushi go around. There's a really good Vietnamese place. Like, fucking rocks.
There's an all-you-can-eat sushi place right there.
Yeah, that's where we went. And I realized, me and Liv went there, and I was like, every time I get sushi, I get all I can eat. At like a sushi conveyor belt place.
Yeah.
I've never, and then I was like, let's do an experiment. Let's not get all you can eat and just eat all we can eat and see how much it is. And it was like $30 less than it would have been if we got all you can eat.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All you can eat is a fucking scam now.
It is a scam, but it's real fun to have you can order off the menu all you can eat sushi place.
Ooh.
Be like, I'd like to get, like, I just want unagi, just give me yellowtail.
Yeah. I just want you to start bringing me eel.
Yep.
And
it can be one
stop.
eel.
Yeah.
That you just feed into my throat.
Because here's the
I
thing
will suppress my
gag
reflex.
Here's the thing about formative trauma. That eel fucked up. That eel from Mario 64 fucked up a whole generation of kids, and now they need to get revenge by eating it.
Yeah, it's the miraculous catch. It will feed a lot of people.
It's why I eat a little replica of the Simpsons clown bed for dinner every night.
Because it traumatized you.
That's
why I suck off my dad every night.
Yeah, and he hates it.
It's a punishment for him and a punishment for me.
It's consensual, but he's frowning.
Yeah, we're both frowning. It's the sad. It's neither of us want to do it, but we're steely reserved.
Yeah, it's still enthusiastic consent, but it's a kind of grim enthusiasm.
Yes, like the kind of enthusiasm of a dark Norse warrior beheading a village.
Yeah, yeah. We've all seen The Northman.
Yeah.
Did you have seen The Northman?
I haven't seen it yet. I was trying to scoot past that, so I didn't.
Yeah, it's fine.
We didn't get into it. This run, the way it works, I like Willem Dafoe. I like how he's having fun. I like also looking at his face. It's got a lot of character. It's true. This run's really interesting. You start with Mom's Box, marbles, one of my new favorite items in the game, and Mom's Purse. And you start out, so a bunch of trinkets.
So to be clear, just very quickly, Mom's Box is the active item that lets you generate trinkets and doubles the effect of many trinkets. Marbles is the one where when you take hits, you can swallow trinkets, making them permanent. This one's hard-coded to always do that on every hit.
Yep.
And Mom's Purse allows you to hold 2 trinkets at once.
Yep. So since every time, and you start with 4, you pop up with a bunch of selection. You're going to get new ones every 4 rooms through Mom's Box. There are still item rooms and shops, but every item in the game has been replaced by a trinket.
Yeah.
Pick up. And Deal with the Devil rooms have trinkets, but they're surrounded by spikes. So they don't cost hearts, but you take a little damage to get them. And you just have to make it to Isaac, which is a long way to go, but you will get so many trinkets. And it's very easy to make them permanent. Like you're not making choices around them.
This is, the choice you're making is avoiding the trinkets that will fuck your run.
Yeah. There are bad trinkets, but trinkets, like there are not that many that are straight up fucking bad. It's like less than 5% of trinkets. So like it's tricky because you're not going to get tons of damage from this. There aren't tons of trinkets that just increase damage. You're going to make your way through this with like cool utility.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like you get like, the matchstick. So you're dropping a lot more bombs and you're getting like all the bomb synergy trinkets, which are weaker than the item synergy, item bomb synergy items, but like still will do cool stuff, and you kind of have to work around it. It's neat.
Like I said, I haven't done this one, but I'm excited to because there's this is such a good idea. Just like get 30 trinkets all at once and just see what happens to your run.
It is. I haven't beat this one, but I've tried it a few times and I just had bad luck. I just never got an item or a damage up really throughout it. And that feels bad. Like it's not so much that like I was dying. I was just getting to the 6th floor and every room was taking a million years.
Yeah.
Because I just did not have enough damage. You have to get something like the, a status effect. Curved horn or a status effect or like the booger tears item or something. Like you need something.
Yeah, this is one where you might hang out and re-roll that first room a couple times until you get a cancer or get a curved horn.
Yeah, which feels a little bit bad, but it's okay. You're still it's still a really interesting idea. I still love it with all my heart.
With Gary, no, you need to reserve some of that heart for pumping blood.
Oh shit! I knew I was forgetting something.
I knew Gary, it's Blood Week here on Everything to Guppy.
It is Blood Week. It's always Blood Week here on Everything to Guppy. It's also patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv week and Rating Review Poetry week, entering into what conservatively feels like the 10th week of this.
8th.
Okay. 8th entry, 100th day. Morale is low.
No, fewer than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, because they were DNL to the BPE, but they started at 3 for this. So 3, 4, 5, 6. This last one was 7. And now 8, which is we're back to 2.
Please get on with it.
What? What do you mean?
I just want you to read the review so we can get past this.
What do you mean? Gary, we're marinating. It's steak week here and Everything to Guppy.
It's a bloody steak. It's bloody rare. I just want this poem to be over.
But Gary, what do you marinate your steak in?
Ooh, great question. I tend to do an Asian marinade. I do
I'm the Asian marinoid.
I'm marinoid. I do like a soy and gochujang, oyster sauce, fish sauce, MSG, that kind of thing. Garlic, ginger.
You're picking that stuff at Fuban on 82nd?
Generally.
Yeah.
Not always. Some things I have to get from there, but some things I just have because you can get them anywhere. And then Liv tends to do like a tangy, like mustard kind of based marinade, like a honey mustard.
All right.
And they're both quite good. Yeah. So we're both like pretty good at seasoning things. She is a better cook in terms of execution, like much better, but I think that we're both pretty good at seasoning.
Yeah. I don't marinate my steaks, just start salt and pepper.
I love that too. I just, we do a lot of, the reason why, like if we're just eating a steak, we'll do that. A lot of times we'll order like flank steaks or
sure.
Like a tougher cut of meat for, for like a dish. That's why but a regular steak, we don't marinate either.
Yeah. You doing it on the stovetop or do you got a little grill or anything?
I don't use the grill, but Liv is a grill, like a pit master.
I fear the grill.
Me too. But Liv's great at it. So I let her grill on that, and then I do just stovetop.
Yeah, stovetop steak is so good. My mom got us a cast iron pan a couple months ago. Cooks it so good. Mm-hmm. Get a good sear on there.
Yeah, it's quite good. Yeah.
What we do? Have you been?
You're right. End this poem.
What?
Yeah,
oh shit! Are we still doing Guppy?
Yeah. How many more of these do you have?
This is the finale.
Oh, thank God! I thought okay. For some reason, I thought we still had 2 more after this.
Oh, that'd be great.
You could start over.
But yeah, but you're doing okay. Everything's all right.
I'm okay.
Are we
going to the dentist tomorrow? Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Is this the big extraction?
No. This is cavities. This is the little insertions.
You already had the big extraction, right?
Nope. That comes mid next month. I had the root scaling.
God, you're really edging this dentist stuff.
I wish I wasn't, but I fucking am. I'll be done. Middle of next week, I'll be done. Or middle of next month, I'll be done for a while. I do the big extraction. I take a couple days of just hanging out, nursing it, and then I'll be okay.
You already did the rooting and scaling, though?
I did that. That was the hardest. That was the one I was most scared of.
That's worse than
I fucking hate it. Yeah, cavity drills are not so bad, even though they are going to give me nitrous, because I am still nervous, and I've never been on
Tuesday?
it. It's Nitrous Tuesday.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. It's here, let me set you up. Nitrous. All right, now you can make a theme song for it.
Yeah, but I won't, because the last time I had to make a theme song, Audacity tried to kill itself like 40 times, and it was the worst edit they had had in like a year. I hope people appreciate that What We Do in the Shadows theme, because we ain't getting any more.
Yeah, it's a good one to go out on.
Yeah. Hey, how about this one from DNL2 the BPE? Before this one's too long for Will, and all my effort lost, too late, Thor and his pal Idris Elba summoned the Bifrost. And Daxter crossed the Rainbow Bridge. He gave his final sigh. As the years and fruits both disappeared, his friends could only cry. But Daxter could not hear them now. He was floating. He was free. And that was a 5-star review by DNL2, the BPE.
All right.
So in a way there, DNL2, the BPE, you've taken what is either your dead cat or dog or wife and
or husband.
Gary, I do. I thank you for
or whatever term they choose. Partner.
But and then link them to Daxter.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes. Which to me is a not nice thing to do. But honorable folk can differ.
Gary, do you like that Rainbow Bridge shit, or does it bother you? Because it bothers me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but I don't go in for it. The reason why it doesn't bother me is that I've seen a bunch of people being real genuine about it, and I can't.
I know. You can't actually be shitty about it.
Well, it's not that I want to be shitty about it. There are things I do want to be shitty about. I can't. I have too much empathy for pet loss.
Yeah, me too. Horrible empathy, but it's just so dumb.
I don't want to make fun of it. I think in a different world I could, but in the one where I've experienced what I've experienced, I'm just like, no, whatever gets you through this is fine.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm also right.
Wrong. No, you have a sympathetic position that I understand.
Gary, that's why you're the fucking alderman. Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, enemy, and challenge in the Binding of Isaac. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined, as always, by a real smoky spud, Gary Butterfield.
Oh,
did not pre-plan that one.
Yeah. You ever tried making potato? Or anybody ever made a potato on the grill for you?
Yeah. Anybody in here? Ever made a potato?
I got a potato
grill?
for you. That's
God,
good.
Rickles is losing a step.
It's like, this is not as funny as you think.
Hey,
Don.
hockey puck. Anybody ever cook a potato on the grill?
On a grill? Sir, you're dying. Isn't there something you'd rather say to your family than that?
Sizzle chest.
I stole everything I did from the Jerky Boys.
We don't talk enough about that, about how Don Rickles his entire fucking career plagiarizing the Jerky Boys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucked up, honestly. And the Jerky Boys got all their shit from Crank Yankers.
Gary, I think about Crank Yankers a lot.
I know.
As a catchy theme song.
Oh, I've never watched that show. I've never heard the theme song.
Oh, it's bad and also problematic. It's not funny, but it's also
offensive.
Yeah. And I was offended by it, but it does have a good theme song.
How does the theme song go?
Oh God. We've been making some calls to strangers. I don't know. It's Sesame Street-esque.
Okay. Because they're puppets. Because they're the Happy Time crank calls.
It's the Happy Time crank puppets.
Yeah.
Gary, and it turns, and you know what I really think about is Shorty's watching Shorties.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No.
Shorty's watching Shorties. Okay. Was a short-lived thing that they did on Comedy Central where I think it was Patrice O'Neill and I can't remember who else, but they made animated baby versions of them that introduced stand-up clips. And I think they also animated the stand-ups as ugly babies.
Okay.
So they were Shorties watching Shorties because they were all babies watching babies but doing adult stand-up. It was kind of like what if Dr. Katz wasn't as good in any way, shape, or form?
It sounds a little bit like that, or like a Look Who's Talking. But
there's some look who's oh, if we're speaking about childhood traumas, that fucking nightmare sequence from Look Who's Talking.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I missed this completely. I'm looking at the Wikipedia for it now.
I watched. Wow. I watched. There was like many years when I was a young man where I watched nothing but Comedy Central. So I have deep catalog on all their.
Packages. Yeah, I do too. I'm older than you are.
Yeah.
And the time where I did that was different. So like that is when I watched, an absolute mountain of Whose Line Is It Anyway. I watched the complete
the British series, right?
I don't know which one, the British one. Whichever one they showed on, I think it was the British one.
It was the British.
And then that's why I watched All My Kids in the Hall. And I also saw a lot of really horrible movies. That's where like Earth Girls Are Easy came on and would just scuzz me out.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at the art from Shorties Watching Shorties. It's actually less grotesque than I was expecting it to be. I'm
looking at the list of comedians, and there's some that are okay here. There's some pretty fairly irritating comedians on here, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's this is also when they were around when they were doing Kid Notorious, the Robert Evans cartoon.
Yes. Robert Evans.
Really?
Yeah.
R.I.P. to a real one.
Yep. This is like a worst Dr.
You
Katz.
can always pivot to just talking about the challenge.
No, I know. I just got distracted by the Shorties Watching Shorties Wikipedia page. It probably happens to me a lot more than it does you because you're an entertainment writer, and you have a mind for more of that kind of minutia than I do. But when I just find something like that, that's like I just literally never fucking heard about that. It feels like it's made up.
Like
it's Gary, a real weird feeling.
Gary, are you familiar with The Prince?
The Machiavelli is The Prince?
No. Sadly, this one's not as funny. Okay. So this is relatively recent, but I'm obsessed with
the cartoon. Yeah.
The Prince,
only
because
I saw you write about it, but that's the only reason.
Okay.
Your obsession is the only reason I know about it.
It's so fucking weird, dude.
Yeah. It's really weird.
So if you've never seen it, this comedian named, I think, Gary Janetti got popular on Instagram doing a thing where he would put up pictures of Prince George, whichever one of the royal babies, I don't care. And where he would play him as like kind of like an American kind of snobby kid, like and then just saying, "Oh, the queen's such a bitch" and stuff. Whatever. I'm butchering Gary Janetti's material. The important thing is that it got made into an HBO Max cartoon. with
starring Orlando Bloom.
Starring a lot of people.
Yeah.
Alan Cumming, they got a lot of names for this thing,
but none of the ones that do comedy animation shit.
No, that is true.
Yeah,
it's some of the ugliest animation you'll ever see. It's like if it looks like Disney Family Guy, like when Family Guy did a Disney parody, it looks like that. And then they made it, and then they were like, "Uh-oh, this is god awful." So they put the whole thing out one Friday night. They just shoved it out on HBO Max.
Just to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about The Prince a lot. I've watched like one trailer for it. You can't make me watch it.
Critics do not like it at all. At all.
But it's got deathly unfunny.
It seems really unfunny. I think they're probably right. But I was surprised Googling it that it's got like a 7 out of 10 for Google users.
Okay. Well, those people are animals.
You're pretty surprised by that. Yeah. No. We're talking about Hot Potato today.
Hot potato.
Have you played this one? Because I know you have not forgot.
Nope, I have not. This is another fun idea.
Yeah, this is great. Tainted Forgotten is one of my favorite characters. This is a great idea for it. So Tainted Forgotten, the way he works is you control the soul and you throw the body around. When you attack, the body does it, not the soul. But you have to move it around like an object. You lift it over your head and toss it, and it does a bunch of impact damage. Same
mechanics as the mom's bracelet item.
Yes, except it's you're throwing your DPS around.
Yeah.
This challenge makes the Forgotten's body blow up every 4 seconds.
And you're blindfolded.
Yes.
So you can't make it attack. All you can do is pick it up and throw it.
Yep. And just use it as a reusable bomb that blows up every 4 seconds.
And which hurts you if it goes off near you.
Yes. Or when you're holding it. So imagine like a run where you just always have one of those temporary bombs from the mines. And that's your only damage source. It still does impact damage, and you can make it, your items will apply to it. So like a way to get through this challenge is to get something like the virus or Serpent's Kiss, where you do contact damage, and the Forgotten will do way more contact damage. And you can just toss it at guys and then it explodes. This can either be very powerful or incredibly tough. And, you had to go to Satan, which is not nothing.
I like when you and Cole mined this territory many, many years ago, but I like when you see a couple of wiki entries and you can build the person out of them.
Yes.
In this case, it's the person who has gone, like, everyone has put in, like, oh, if you get this item, it works really well with it. And then some fucking Poindexter on at least 2 different occasions adds, chaos will be necessary to use this method due to the fact that it is impossible to find a treasure room in this challenge.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Chewbacca
No, that's just
got sick.
Chewbacca mom had a Chewbacca baby. That should Chewbacca die. It's gotta be.
Boy, Gary, if you could have portmanteaued anything into Chewbacca with that, it would have flowed a lot better.
I know, it would have flowed a lot better.
As it was pretty Chewbada.
Chewbacca die is not a phrase. It's just
Gary,
my favorite
how they
graffiti.
do Chewbacca in the last Star Wars movie?
I don't know how they do him in the last Star Wars movie. I know he died in the books, but tell me how they do him in the last Star Wars movie.
It's the most I'm an on the record disliker of Return of the Jet or Rise of Skywalker. That's what it's called.
Yes, Return of the Skywalker.
There is a moment where to sell like Rey's big like emotional thing, she goes off and does something reckless, and because of it, Chewbacca gets captured, and then he gets taken away by the First Order, and then you watch as the ship he's on explodes.
Oh.
And it is treated as real. And it is like, oh my God.
We lost Chewbacca.
We lost Chewbacca. We already lost Han Solo. I almost just called him Harrison Ford.
And then... Yeah.
No, Gary.
Okay. Oh,
and
there's
then
more.
15 minutes later, Chewbacca shows up. And like, oh, he was on the other transport.
Oh.
There were 2 transporters. We didn't see, but they loaded him on the other one.
It's a real dog shit.
The worst fucking thing you've ever heard?
Frustrating. It's already a bad way for him to die.
Yeah.
But the reason why they chose that is so it could be plausibly deniable.
Yeah.
Like just having, it's shitty comic book rules. Like you didn't find the corpse, so it doesn't matter.
They do it with C-3PO too. They're like, oh, we're going to wipe his memory. He's still got kind of his memory. Yeah,
that's awful. Fuck those movies. Or especially fuck that one. Yeah. I should watch the second one again. The one everyone says is interesting. Like I should, or not again for the first time. I should watch that at some point. No. This all makes sense if you give me a second. Okay. I was speaking
right
too fast. I know.
Sad.
It's no. I was speaking too fast. What that sentence was supposed to be again, comma. Okay. I should watch the second one.
Okay.
But I just put him in the wrong order because of Dum Dum. So yeah, there's just a comma missing and the words in the wrong order.
Rian Johnson's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Watch it again for the first time.
I was trying to also remember if I'd seen the Jedi Curse or whatever the first one is, The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody just put another little tick mark on the Gary has Alzheimer's chart.
I'm not on this earth to remember things. I'm on this earth to say things. And
that's on the Butterfield family crest.
That's the podcaster's creed. Man.
With arms wide open.
Ooh. In the weather, we got some rain last night. You notice that?
Yeah,
it's real nice.
Yeah, it's been very hot in Portland. It's still pretty warm today.
Yeah, it's a little humid, but I'm glad that the rain came. This week is supposed to be pretty chill in terms of temperature. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, everything's looking up, Gary. Me and Kevin managed to at least mostly beat our Arkham Horror scenario for the first time in like a month.
Hell yeah! Night. Which one?
We're in the Circle Undone, which is the Witches and Azathoth one with the Silver Twilight Lodge.
Yep.
It's the one where you have to open the puzzle box.
Yes.
Which we failed by one turn. I got a bad Ancient Evils, the one that puts just a doom. Yeah. We were one turn away from opening the box, and I got hit with that. Like, well, we almost cheated, and then I checked what the agenda did when it flipped over, and it unleashes a boss monster instead of just killing you.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have got through it anyway.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do the boss fight.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Kevin's got that fucking Cyclopean hammer now. That thing is ridiculous.
I wonder if they'll patch it.
It's been patched and it's still overpowered because even at base, it's 2 damage every hit.
Yeah, a 2 damage melee weapon is fucked up.
It's a 2 damage melee weapon that adds your mind to your fight style.
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
They nerfed it so now that it's because it has an effect that adds 2 more, or it brings your damage up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you overhit by enough. But they moved that so that it's that now exhausts. But it's still But it's still wildly powerful.
Yeah.
Gary, should we just do an Arkham Horror card game podcast?
The pivot is a very serious Arkham Horror podcast.
Yeah.
Arkham Horror. That would be fun to do. I would feel like we had really fucked the audience on that one.
Card by card, going through every pack.
And it'd be very serious. Like, because we'd have a lot of things to say about those.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we shouldn't. Yeah. If you like the show, go to Patreon and then leave us a rating and review in prose.
Yeah, like this one it's from Broverdown.
That's okay. It'll be refreshing after all this time.
But it's the same fucking one he's put on here a million times. This message is for Jabrader. Jabrader, Alan's yellow snakes absolutely taste like original mother. And that was a 5-star review from Broverdown. Oh shit, Gary, I haven't been recording and podcast. And that was a 5-star review. You've done the joke before, puppy.
If that were part of the review, I'd be kind of impressed.
That would...
But let's not give
Broverdown / everything to Puppy, who is a regular on my streams and who does a lot of fun art. They made the meme that I asked for, the Vince McMahon meme.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like a dog with a bone when they get a joke.
Yeah,
and they just grab it. No, not a dog, not a bone. A small woodland animal.
Yeah,
and it's a Labrador Retriever, and they just shake the damn thing until the neck breaks.
Yep, and then continue to shake.
For days and days, just asking me what I had for fucking dinner.
What? What did you say?
Sorry, Gary, I went to a place. I'm fine. I love all our fans. I support you all.
I couldn't hear that. I
looked off in the distance.
Yeah, you did a Vietnam stare during that. Guppy fans, you can also edit this episode yourself and turn that up if you want to hear that, as well as that very funny joke.
Gary, I'm moving the
from the end of segment one.
mic closer to my mouth. Okay, so
okay.
It's. I was just saying, like, he'll just ask what I had for dinner. Every time.
Is that the pivot?
That's the pivot. As I talk about, that's what
dinner?
we're going to podcast is dinner.
Dinner.
Wait, Gary, has anyone ever done a dinner podcast?
I've seen a lot of other podcasts, but just dinner.
Just dinner.
And just what you had for dinner. No, like trying out new restaurants. It happens naturally.
It's gonna be a lot of times. It's gonna be the same chicken thighs.
Yeah. So, some chicken thighs and some vegetables. Yeah, that's a great idea. Done.
Yeah, that's way better than doing an Arkham Horror podcast about a thing we both actually love.
So you really like talk about. That I think that there's not a podcast about that I think actually fulfills a hole.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the Binding of Isaac podcast that covers all of the runes in the Binding of Isaac series of video games twice. My name is Gary Butterfield, and with me, as always, is a guy who's same as he ever was, Will Hughes.
Hey, Gary, that was really good, and I liked it. And I can tell you,
I wonder if I did it last time.
Yeah. Well, no, because we didn't have individual intros for different ones because we did them all in like 2 episodes.
Yeah. Idiots. Yeah.
Idiots. That was content. You were leaving shit on the table.
Yeah, we were being stupid.
Just being those stoops.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, it's Rune Day. Do.
Don't sing if you want to live long. They have no use for your song.
Rune.
Stand out of this.
Rune. That is great. I should let you know that our time constraints are coming to calling. I got about 8 minutes for this episode.
All right, Gary. Well, great news. Ehwaz is a rune. It looks like a big M. Is that the? I've lost it on the page.
It's certainly an M. It's Magneto looking.
Magneto. And the only reason to ever use this rune is because 1/12 of the time it makes a crawl space instead of the passageway to the next floor it normally makes, and which you never want to take unless you are really racing for that fucking boss rush.
We've talked about it before. Getting to go to the next floor or skip a floor is the worst, like one of the worst prizes you can get in this game. You just don't want to because you're trying to accumulate power while it's easy, so you can use it while it's hard.
Yeah.
Just skipping over to where it's hard without accumulating power is self-defeating.
Yeah, even if you're grabbing the treasure room on the floor, you're like the treasure room is sometimes power, mostly efficacy, and or variety.
Yep.
Your meat and potatoes power boosts come from beating bosses.
Yep, and that's also where you end up getting your deals with the devil and deals with the angel.
Right.
Like there are use cases for this, like dumb use cases. You have this, you get the treasure room and the boss room, and then you go inside a curse room and then just use this to leave without having to like leave.
Yeah, saving yourself half a heart.
Yeah, or like trigger a challenge room, get an item and then jet. Like you can do stuff like that, but it's not worth it. You don't get very much.
Yeah, so most of the time when I get this, I grab it, I hit it, see if there's a ladder in the hole, and if not, I move on.
Yep. I've had a couple of weird shenanigan things with this where I've had like blank card and battery stuff and more or less guaranteed myself a crawl space.
Okay.
Which is cool, even though crawl space is really range and power. The number of like 3 pennies or 1 gray chest crawl spaces are pretty high.
Yes.
In that respect.
They're just better than skipping the floor.
Yes, exactly. Like this is arguably worst rune. A weird thing to say, but I think that I do like Hagalaz more. And I think that I like Burkano more.
Okay.
I think this might be worst rune.
Yeah. Hagalaz you can at least do fun shit with.
Yeah. Or just break a tinted rock. It saves you a bomb. That's more than this does usually. 92% of the time, more than what this does.
What if you could one time replicate one of the worst active use items in the game?
Yep. That for some reason has a 6-room charge. Just ludicrous stuff. An unthought out mechanic. Are there games where like you would want to skip a level. Like not really roguelikes, because the whole point is like being in the level.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like the journey, Gary.
Yeah, I never used the elevator in Enter the Gungeon either.
No,
which is a similar thing. Like, what's the point? I don't understand that mechanic.
Like the runs are paced so that you like if you're playing like Undermine, which is a roguelike but has more. For one thing, it's one where when you take the elevator, it just gives you. It's one of those ones that gives you a bunch of power.
Yeah.
To kind of get you up to the level you're supposed to be at. You haven't like played Undermine like seriously?
No, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Yes, I was staying in an Airbnb while my ex moved out of my last place, and I basically played Undermine straight for 2 days.
Okay, so you've got a lot of like good sense memories and like joyful feelings wrapped up in it.
Mostly, yeah. Ending that awful relationship.
In fact,
was great.
now you associate the relationship with Undermine. You're like, maybe we should get back together.
Just no, we should break up again so I can play more Undermine. I never beat it.
Hey, Becky, I know. Eat shit and die too. Can we break up again? It was really good for me.
Yeah. Sorry, wife. Time for Undermine. I broke up. What? What? But I never beat it. Because it's the way it's one of those roguelikes where you beat the boss once, but they're hard. You know, once you beat them, you never have to beat them again, but they're tough.
Yeah, it's progression focused.
Yes, but it's a really underrated roguelike, like Isaac-like. It's good.
Oh, the basic tension of collecting the money in that is so much fun.
Yeah. Really good game. Don't sleep on Undermine.
Don't sleep on 2020's Undermine.
Undermine? Probably. That sounds about right.
You played Going Under?
I haven't played Going Under. I know about it. The art style looks hard to read to me. I don't. That's all I'm basing that on. Like, I haven't tried it. I would try it. I just haven't had time. And when I look at it, I'm like, that looks hard to see.
Yeah, I did not have that experience, but I have more cones than you, so
that could be it, or it could just be, nothing.
Has decently good writing, and the roguelike gameplay is not like the most solid. Like, you don't get a lot of stuff where you're like, oh shit, this totally transformed my run. But the mechanic where you're picking up it's like Breath of the Wild weapons, so everything like breaks all the time. So you're having to like cycle through different attack verbs all the time. That's pretty cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Also, listeners, I just coughed and I muted my microphone, but since we record locally, you guys get to hear it and Will doesn't.
Yeah, Gary,
it's a exclusive.
Yeah, it's you. I mean, you're saying this because you know that's the least efficacious way for you to do that.
I didn't do it to be impish. I did it as a reflex.
I know,
but because when me and Cole record, we record on his end, so muting is effective. It's just my reflex, and I realized afterwards. I saw the big gigantic waveform of me coughing. And I was like, well, shit.
Gary, you want me to leave that in?
You can. It's not that bad of a cough.
Okay.
And cough phrenologist out there could probably figure something else about me. I'd say it was about rated on what scale?
Actually, Gary, I want to pivot to a different question that I'm more interested in. Okay. How many people with MDs do you think listen to this show?
It's a great question. Some. I think the answer is more than 0.
But is it more than 10?
Ooh. I would not be surprised by a little bit more than 10. I would be surprised by 30.
I think we could get above 10 if we brought in medical students. But I got to tell you, medical students, you are not you have a lot of stuff to memorize. I knew med students when I was in grad school, and you have an enormous amount of shit to memorize. You are not helping your brain by listening to Grandpa Watch It Again over here and his dumb fat friend.
You should probably start memorizing this, though. If anybody fails out of med school because of Guppy,
we'll send them a shirt. We'll make a shirt. We'll make
an individual shirt. I'll go to that Big Frog T-shirts place and just make a bespoke shirt.
Med school, not grad school. Stay in school, Bill.
Yeah, and eat for dinner.
And don't forget to eat. Don't forget to eat for dinner.
Eating, it's what you do at dinner.
God, I can't wait for this. Gary, why are we doing every fucking rune when we could burn through the rest of this stupid fucking game and get to the dinner podcast?
Yeah. Dinner / Arkham Horror. A a night at the the Arkham Rose, a fine dining establishment.
I like. What if it's an actual play audio podcast of the Arkham Horror Card Game where we are also loudly eating dinner on mic? Ooh, but what if we bring Levi in
to scowl at us?
No, to cook for us.
Oh, okay.
Break him away from Pod Take the Podding Sands or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. I'll run it by him. I've run out of time. Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. And you can leave us a rating review next time. I got to go because I got to record. Is it a good one?
I have no idea. I haven't read it. Gary, just
hurry.
I'm looking. I'm scrolling. This one's it's from Vin. It's from Mr. Reciprocity.
Thank you, Vin.
Each week, Kaiser Wilhelm von Hugs and his tag team partner, Buttery Garfield, compete in an ongoing effort to draft the world's longest mutual obituary, an endeavor which must, by definition, end in their deaths. 5 stars, Imperial, which I think converts to 6.4 stars, metric, for our European listeners. Vin, you're the best.
That's really good. I like that mutual obituary quite a bit. I do sincerely have to go.
Yeah, listen to the upcoming adaptation Decay and see if you can hear the harried guppy energy in Gary's voice as he tries to talk about whatever he's talking about.
Yeah, it'll actually be a good transition, but I do got to go. Yeah, everybody, you're great. Bye.
Cole is messaging Gary right now.
Bye.
Bye. He's got to go. He's got to go. Bye. He's got to get off the call. He's got to get off the call. Cole's getting so mad. Oh God, Cole's messaging me now. He's so fucking mad.
Gwen's here. I got to go. He sent his enforcer.
Oh God, fucking Gwen, the leg breaker. So you got the comptroller, you got the alderman, and you got the leg breaker.